fighting games. What's a better feeling than controlling your favorite function in order to beat your opponents senseless? You get a sense of pride and accomplishment. A genre dear to many, including myself, for the ability to use cool combos, zone out your opponents, command grab them to death, and play your favorite waifus, husbandos, or they-thems. The community gathered together since even the beginning of Street Fighter II to host legendary tournaments, year after year, generating some of the most hype moments in video game history. But it hides a dark secret. For heavy trends in fighting games, there lies moments of controversy and madness. Today, I will reveal just a few of the many controversies and what the moments in fighting games. The Skullgirls Censorship. Skullgirls is well known to have quite a number of controversies related to it. Like, a lot. Originally released in 2012, it's a 2D tag team fighter and one of the first well-known fighting games to have rollback netcode. It would have had a very positive response for its fast-paced gameplay and notably its gorgeous hand-drawn sprite work. But beneath that sprite work lies a darkness. Litness! Skullgirls' artwork is well known to show a gratuitous amount of boobs, ass and panty shots from its inception. Many embraced the art style regardless of this, and some enjoyed it even more due to this. And then others simply did not want to play it because of it. The game would receive updates over the years, even now up to 2023, receiving new characters as well as a mobile title. But they would cross a line that few dare to tread. Censorship! Actually no, that happens quite a bit nowadays. They would release the update in late June of 2023, featuring a number of changes that would remove several lewd shots of characters, move armbands of the Black Igrets, a group that had depictions similar to Nazis, a scene of brutality, and even modifying the art book that came with the digital edition. As with any censorship, a large number of people were not happy, but Steam reviews on the store were bombed with an influx of negative reviews from a large number of players, some with a great number of hours and some with not so many. As with any censorship change, this started a war on Twitter, with those in favor of the changes and those who were absolutely outraged by the added coverage and removed cutscenes. With the change coming 11 years after its initial release, it left many perplexed. Some argue they are changing what is the game's original vision. Panty shots and boobs and all. And others that the changes are absolutely fun considering the, other controversies in the company and wanting to move away from that original vision. For now, the Steam reviews have moved back to positive review scores, and the fiasco has hardly been brought up since its initial drop. But it still begs the question, if it's okay to change a game after so many years with a certain vision, and whether or not that the changes are, in fact, a good thing to happen for the game. Chun-Li's new costume. Online tournaments. The savior during the COVID era. With the onset of COVID, the number of online tournaments has only increased thanks to more games implementing the legendary rollback netcode. What a better way to spend one's time than to sit back and watch an online tournament of the latest big fighting game, Street Fighter 6. But something seems a bit off. Quite literally.
And Stop Recent Pleats was also a strong Street Fighter 5 player as well. But here we are. Lensta indeed going with Kimberly. Yeah, that's a very interesting Chun-Li costume there.
Oh, the new costume recently released, though.
It seems that the host of the stream, most likely the TO or the streamers themselves, this still hasn't been confirmed as far as I'm aware, had installed a lewd mod for Chun-Li and had forgotten to remove that mod for when the tournament began. Almost immediately, the clip is shared around, spurring Chun-Li to trend on Twitter. The streamer must have realized the mistake, as the entire VOD of the tournament cannot be found on their channel, removing it from existence. See for the clip shared around Twitter. What kind of TL forgets to turn off their mods, or even have one to begin with, for their tournament? But even as players around were laughing at the sheer madness of what had occurred in an online tournament, not all was sunshine and rainbows, as one of the players featured in the tournament was targeted. An article was posted by Games Radar about the incident. A very quick editorial about the absurd situation was posted, seemingly with very little research. The player who was using Chun-Li is specifically named by the article's author as the one bringing nude mods into the tournament. As most people know, mods are only shown on one's local machine, which means that the setup being used to stream the event is the one that had the nude mods on it. Naturally, this would cause a great news scandal, because this was spreading misinformation about the player, Pax, being the one to blame for this happening. Not only Games Radar, but other publications and tweets still referring to the player as the one doing the deed. Pax themselves would call up Games Radar and specifically the author for defamation, as the article was the one that was spreading the misinformation like wildfire, or one of the starting ones at the very least. As of this recording, Pax has only received a private apology, and the article modified to say they had attributed the mod to the player by mistake. But still, the article's information about random Reddit comments talking about the player being the one to blame are still present. Not only that, the article itself was not modified by the original author, so information spreads like wildfire on the internet, and misinformation can be potentially very damaging to people, so one has to be more careful about what they post. It goes to show you that doing improper research and targeting a specific person is probably not the greatest idea. That, and also forgetting to turn off your nude mods, or downloading them in the first place, as long as you don't get caught. I doubt now that any tournament organizer will be making the same mistake about their mods from now on. Hackerman and the legendary R-Code exploit. Guilty Gear Strive, the most popular anime game on the market as of this video. Players have flocked to its explosive gameplay, incredible visuals, and the rollback netcode, praise be. The series had never been more popular. It's a hit, but underneath lies a darkness. There was a darkness lurking behind the shadows, a dark messiah lurking to strike at Guilty Gear and at unsuspecting players, a being with such power that Arxis could not stop them. Players laid at the mercy of this creature. This being was known as Hackerman. Hackerman could identify you by your R-Code profile simply by seeing your name on stream, or alternatively if they were following you. The R-Code profile itself was basically a collection of the data stored for your profile to identify you as a player. Using their dark magic, they could change your name at will, and as a result, for some reason, would cause your game to crash.
If you guys don't know what it looks like, I'm trying to play a match in the park. It looks like they can crash my game even once I'm like already loading into the match.
Many notable players, including Hotashi, Seijin, Romola, SQ, and many others, were hit by this malicious entity. A lot of tournaments were hit as well, forcing some of them to have to cancel the tournaments outright.
You can use this vulnerability to, on top of making people's clans crash through manipulating the R-Code, now you can cause some sort of GPU leak or CPU leak through the Guilty Gear Strive clan, causing the game to slow down to an unplayable rate and also potentially black screen of death to your computer.
The Hackerman, with their dark spell, was able to crash your connection at will. As I mentioned earlier, they had the ability to change your name, and so that, in combination with other exploits that they were able to do on the R-Code system, would allow them to crash your game, online or even offline, because streamers actually noted that they were playing in training mode and somehow were being targeted.
Being able to crash people's games, it's also the case that they are able to affect you from even like playing training mode and stuff. Watashi last night was having issues. His game was like running at like 1 FPS. It was like freezing or like going slow-mo. So then he had to reboot the game and play in offline mode on Steam.
As the R-code system had a way to follow other players to show if they were online or not, meaning that as long as Hackerman could follow you, you were subjectable to the terror of being hackered, even offline.
And the problem here is that we have not really had great communication from Arxis at this point. They haven't really explained what they're trying to do. They just keep telling us like, hey, we're aware that there's problems, and that's really all we've gotten. Both in regards to the servers just not working well and the Hackerman issue specifically.
To this day, the mysterious Hackerman is still unidentified and still at large. Even as of recently, I saw SQ post something on Twitter saying that various events and even SQ themselves have still been targeted by these attacks. I initially said that reports have been more sparse as of the original recording I was going to do, but it seems like the issue has not been fixed yet, as Hackerman remains at large. Hopefully, in the near future, Arxis, with the new Season 3 patch dropping, and Johnny Bravo coming out, that they will be fixing this issue, and hopefully, Hackerman will not be able to hack anyone anymore. These are just a few of the many controversies and spooky stories in fighting games and the fighting game community. A scene with a lot of love and passion, but we do have our fair share of problems. Hope you all enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like, share it out, maybe even subscribe. If you'd like to see more topics covered in the future or any stories you'd like to see highlighted, feel free to leave them in the comments. Till next time, everyone, take care.